Vibe Vault fans. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the legendary moments and unsung stories in basketball history. Today, we're revisiting a clash that not only defined a season, but changed the trajectory of an entire NBA era. It's 1991, and Michael Jordan is on the brink of immortality, but there's a massive obstacle standing in his way. The Detroit Pistons, the bad boys, have been the ultimate thorn in his side. So buckle up as we relive the intense battle between Michael Jordan and the Detroit Pistons that would forever alter the NBA landscape. In 1991, Michael Jordan's greatness was no longer in question on an individual level. His scoring prowess was unmatched. He led the NBA in points for 5 consecutive seasons, and his name was already etched in the annals of basketball history. But there was a glaring omission in his resume, a glaring gap that threatened to overshadow his individual accolades: an NBA championship. Despite his scoring titles and accolades, Jordan had yet to conquer the playoff nemesis that had kept him from reaching the pinnacle of his career, the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons, known for their physical and intimidating style of play, had become the ultimate barrier between Jordan and his NBA dreams. The Bulls had faced Detroit in the playoffs multiple times, twice in the Eastern Conference Finals and once in the second round. Each time, the Pistons had emerged victorious, cementing their status as the team that could neutralize Jordan's brilliance. Their defensive strategy, known as the Jordan Rules, was designed to exploit his weaknesses and contain the best scorer in the league. This strategy had turned their home court, the Palace of Auburn Hills, into an impenetrable fortress. But 1991 was different. Jordan and his team were evolving, and the dynamics of their rivalry were shifting. The Bulls were no longer the underdogs. Michael Jordan was on a mission, and this was the year he was determined to break free from the chains that had bound him. The Chicago Bulls had made significant strides. Scottie Pippen, Jordan's dynamic sidekick, was coming into his own. In his third NBA season, Pippen had been selected for the All-Star game and was showing his potential as a defensive force and an offensive contributor. When the Eastern Conference Finals rolled around, the Bulls faced the Pistons once again. Detroit entered the series with the confidence of a team that had previously dominated their opponents. However, the version of Michael Jordan they faced this year was different from the one they had seen in past years. Jordan was more focused, more determined, and more prepared than ever before. The series began with the Bulls winning both of their home games. But the true test came in Game 3, played at the Palace of Auburn Hills, where the Bulls managed to secure a crucial victory. The Pistons, now on the brink of elimination, knew that Game 4 was a must-win if they wanted to keep their championship hopes alive. May 27th, 1991, was a day that would be etched in basketball lore. Jordan understood the significance of the game. It was not just another playoff match, it was the most important game of his career. He had learned valuable lessons from his past failures, including how to deal with intense defensive schemes and physical play. On this night, Jordan was ready to prove that he would not be intimidated by the Pistons' rough tactics. From the opening moments of the game, Jordan made his presence felt. On one of the first plays, he executed a steal on an entry pass intended for Mark Aguirre. Aguirre, who had joined the Pistons from the Dallas Mavericks, was known for his scoring ability, but he was unable to match Jordan's defensive intensity. After the steal, Jordan brought the ball up and hit a mid-range shot, setting the tone for the game. The Pistons were focused and determined to stop Jordan. Joe Dumars, who had struggled in the earlier games, began hitting shots, trying to turn the momentum in Detroit's favor. Despite his efforts, Jordan was relentless. He scored over Dumars and showcased his all-around game by getting his teammates involved. He knew that overcoming the Pistons would require more than just his scoring ability. He needed to facilitate plays and create opportunities for his team. Jordan's vision and playmaking were on full display. He attracted defenders, which allowed his teammates to get open looks. For instance, he faked a shot to find John Paxson in the corner, who knocked down a mid-range jumper. On another play, Jordan made the right play by passing to Bill Cartwright, who hit a three-pointer. The Bulls showed their superiority in the first quarter, but the Pistons were known for their defensive prowess and ability to make comebacks. Phil Jackson, the Bulls head coach, knew the importance of maintaining defensive intensity. The Bulls' defense was aggressive, with Jordan and Pippen trapping their opponents in ways rarely seen in modern basketball. Jackson's strategy was to keep the pressure on the Pistons and prevent them from mounting a comeback. In the second quarter, Isaiah Thomas, the Pistons' star guard, was struggling. His inefficiency was evident, missing several early shots. Bill Laimbeer managed to get an offensive rebound and score, but it was clear that Thomas was not at his best. Despite this, the Pistons remained a formidable opponent. Jordan continued to make plays, drawing defenders and creating opportunities for his teammates. He found Cliff Levingston in the low post for a nice hook shot and used his footwork to score in the paint. The Bulls' defensive aggressiveness was matched by their offensive execution. Jordan drew fouls and converted free throws, while Pippen scored in transition. The synergy between Jordan and Pippen was evident as Pippen returned the favor by finding Jordan for an easy dunk. Jordan's passing and scoring were reminiscent of Larry Bird's playmaking ability, demonstrating his growth as a complete player. As the game progressed, the Bulls managed to extend their lead, but they knew that against a team like the Pistons, a 7-point lead was not safe. Phil Jackson made halftime adjustments, expecting the Pistons to come out strong in the second half. The third quarter was critical, and Jordan was prepared to carry his team through the tough period. Early in the third quarter, Jordan faced a challenging situation, but managed to make a fadeaway shot that seemed to defy the laws of physics. Shortly after, he capitalized on a jump ball to score an easy layup in transition. Jordan was not just a scorer, he was a playmaker, finding Bill Cartwright for a basket and showing resilience by finishing through contact and getting an and one. By the end of the third quarter, the Bulls had built a 17-point lead, but they were not ready to relax. Jordan's performance was sublime. He was scoring and facilitating with equal brilliance. In the fourth quarter, Jordan continued to dominate, scoring 17 points and ensuring that the Pistons could not make a comeback. His offensive plays included quick crossovers, mid-range shots, and finding teammates like Pippen and Horace Grant for crucial baskets. Jordan's intensity never wavered. He continued to drive to the basket, drawing fouls and converting plays. The Pistons, despite their defensive reputation, were unable to contain Jordan's relentless drive and skill. The game ended with Jordan's performance making it clear that the Pistons' dominance over the Bulls was over. Michael Jordan had finally earned his place in the NBA Finals, and the Pistons' reign as the Kings of the East had come to an end. Chicago went on to win the NBA championship that year, defeating the Los Angeles Lakers in 5 games. This was not only Jordan's first championship, but also his first Finals MVP award. The Bulls' victory marked the beginning of a dynasty that would dominate the NBA, winning 6 championships in an 8-year span. Michael Jordan's legacy was solidified as one of the greatest players in history. The Pistons, on the other hand, did not advance beyond the first round of the playoffs for the next decade. It wasn't until 2002 that the Pistons, with a new generation of players, would return to prominence. Jordan's victory in 1991 was more than just a playoff series win. It was a reset of the blueprint that the Pistons had built, demonstrating that he had overcome his greatest challenge. And there you have it, folks! Michael Jordan's epic showdown with the Detroit Pistons in 1991, a game that changed the course of NBA history and cemented Jordan's legacy as one of the greatest players of all time. The Bulls' victory over the Pistons was more than just a series win. It was a defining moment that led to a dynasty and solidified Jordan's place in basketball history. What do you think? Did this game mark the true beginning of Jordan's dominance, or was it just one of many milestones in his storied career? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button. If you enjoy this deep dive into one of the most legendary moments in NBA history, subscribe and share to keep up with all our latest content, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and peace out.